I'm like, God's perfect and acceptable will. Like, God, your will is perfect and acceptable, because I know mine is not. Ooh, my will is absolutely unacceptable, mean, disrespectful, messy, and nasty sometimes. Okay, look, listen, God is still working on me. And I'm just like, a lot of the things that I used to do and say, I used to feel like, or I still feel like this, no shade. I still feel like, dang, it's not as bad as everybody else's or so many other people's. Like, so many other people are making way worse decisions. Regardless, their decisions are worse, in my opinion, but not from God's eyes. Bad is bad, okay? And good is good. So I had to remind myself that, like, yeah, I wasn't the worst person on the internet demolishing people's lives, but there were times where I just was not behaving how I know God called me to behave. And I'm just like, the will that I had for my life, the decisions I had for my life, the choices I had for my life, they were not acceptable and they were not perfect. I want God's perfect and acceptable will for my life. Like, why live this whole life to get temporary pleasures? Because they are all temporary pleasures, just to end up getting an eternity of pain and suffering. Like, I do not want that. And I think along this journey and the break I took from social media, like, it really hit me. I was like, I'm a mother, a wife. I have these children to raise and teach them how to live in this world. And they're going to go through tough times in this world. And I need to get with God for me and for them. And that's what I did. And that's what I'm doing. Okay. I am not perfect and never will be. Only Jesus is. But you better believe I'm going to try my hardest. And when I mess up, I'm going to go back and try it again. And when I mess up, I'm going to go back and try it again. I'm going to do it as many times as it takes to be in the will of God. That's the perfect place to be. That's the only place I want to be. And I mean that from my heart. And if you mean that from your heart, this is the podcast for you. Keep on listening, because we're going to be talking about this. Okay. We're going to be talking about how to navigate through these life situations and how to, like, not give in to these temptations. Like, there's so many temptations out there. Okay. And I'm not just talking about the typical ones. When you hear temptations, a lot of people think about sex and lust, which are absolutely temptations, but I'm talking about the temptation of anger, frustration, resentment, unforgiveness. Like, that's the kind of stuff that on a regular basis everyone deals with. You know, I don't believe everyone has an issue with lust and sex. You know, a lot of us do, a lot of people do, but a lot of us are really having a hard time forgiving people. And if we're going to allow God to rebuild us into who he wants us to be, and if we are going to be able to rebuild our businesses and relationships and friendship groups, we need to change our minds and change our behaviors, period. And it's not easy to do it by yourself. I tell you that. It is not easy to do it by yourself. Again, that's why God told me to create BlessedAsHeck. He's like, you know what? People need help. Because you need help, Candace. So let's all do it together. Like, that's what he told me to do. And I'm trying my best. I sounded like my grandma and my mom when I'm talking about, what did I say? I'm sorry. That just hit my mind that I said that. I said, what did I say? Something about temporary pleasures. I said, why have temporary pleasures here on earth just to have an eternity of pain and suffering? I was talking about hell, if you didn't know. But when I said that just went back to my mind. Like, I sound like my grandma and my mama and my aunties. But I'm grown now, and they were not lying. They were telling the truth, okay? Now, they might have told us in the wrong way. I love y'all. I love you, aunties and mommy and grandma. Sometimes they probably told us in the wrong way. They were doing their best, or not even just mom, auntie, grandma, just more seasoned. I was going to say older, more seasoned Christians. A lot of them were kind of judgmental and rude and hateful. Some of them were, some of them, not all of them. But what they were trying to do is just steer you in the direction of God. That's what they were trying to do, even though it kind of came off judgy. you know, and some things they were saying wasn't true. We definitely can wear pants, and we can wear makeup and earrings, and we can preach on the pulpit. Okay, I'm done. Lord, I'm sorry. The point is, the examples and direction that our grandparents and aunties and uncles and mothers and fathers tried to tell us, like, they were right. You have to build a relationship with God so that you can know the truth of God and have that relationship with God, so you don't have to be depending on the world to tell you what to do. And I thank God for bringing me to this point of truly believing it, not just doing what my parents said. Like, I truly believe the word of God. It is real. It is true. And I pray that you, join this journey and share it with others.